Eleanor, the library is in disarray. When books are strewn about here and there, it makes it impossible to determine if a book's been checked out.
Прошу прощения. Просто профессора пришли сюда и разбросали книги, совершенно не считаясь теми, кому приходится тут убираться. Я подумала, что дождаться конца дня и расставить книги по местам
The
будет
majority
куда
of scholars are split between two disparate camps. Some believe the texts are worthless scribbles written by a child, one who had yet to grasp the vastness of his destiny. Others contend that the author is not Vanus himself, but a pretender hoping to profit from the mage's name. Both camps, however, are in agreement that the texts themselves have no intellectual merit. There are some, however, who attribute the text to a different origin. Not the young Trictus, but the elder Vanus Garian. The theory states that Vanus wrote the text in the guise of his younger self, precisely so that scholars would question its authenticity. By diverting the eyes of those who seek power, it provided an extra layer of security, in addition to the cryptic nature of the text itself.
Magic. It's as rewarding as it is dangerous.
I mentioned the pages from 5 separate texts were stolen. This is no coincidence. I'm sure you can divine why. What a sad state of affairs, when the college archmage cannot even unravel a simple query. Have you already forgotten the number of schools of magic this institution teaches? Are you that unaware of the curriculum here at the college? I could forgive such an omission of intelligence from the novices, but you are the head of this college. But I digress. For while I do not wish to diminish the repercussions of your folly, that is not my most immediate concern. It is well known that Galarian's gifts for magic were quite diverse. He could restore a rose to full bloom not long after burning it aflame, all the while fooling the mind into believing its scent had rotted away. The theory goes that Galarian was on the verge of completing 5 new spells, one for each school. Spells of such tremendous power
Yes, sir.
that even the immortal armies of Manimarco would countenance their fear. Unfortunately, Galarian's obsession with his nemesis deprived him of his patience. Nevertheless, before he embarked on the great battle, he left notes encoded in 5 works, so others could continue his research. I have an inkling. I was able to glean some clues based on my interviews of the residents of Winterhold, who seem far more observant of mages than the faculty. I sent my assistant, Jad Raah, to investigate the matter further, but I fear something grave has befallen him. Finally, someone with initiative. I need someone to scout the area he was investigating. Your safety is paramount. If the mage in question is at the site, do not attempt to confront him, even if Jad Raah is in imminent danger.
Почему нет?
The Khajiit is a crafty one. He will leave clues behind even in death. Yet if you sacrifice both your lives, both your efforts will be squandered. Good. Jad Raah last left for Solitude, but it is unlikely he is still there. I would start with the caverns near the shoreline. If you find him, and find him well, he may ask for a passphrase. Yes. The problem is, I seem to have forgotten that inscrutable Khajiit word he gave me. So in exchange, I ask you to tell him this. Tell him how, when I met him, I mocked his whiskers, how they were as black as an Imperial's hair. Tell him that his eyes are so narrow that even when he laughs he looks unhappy. Yet their color still shines as bright as the sun. And if he finds that too sentimental, tell him he was more valuable as a rug. And when he accidentally lights his fur on fire, he would no longer be worth anything to anyone.
I'm not someone to be trifled with. Not very impressive.
If you are here to finish me, then do it. Don't just stand there gaping. Liar. Mr. Merrin will not trust one so green. That is true. Do you know it? That is a very old mage, I know. You speak true. Which must mean you are a college mage, and my eyes have deceived me once again. Correct. We had interrogated witnesses in Winterhold. Like those at the college, they are very sensitive to mages, and these mages were 3. Jad overheard them talking in private. It was but a single word, but it spoke volumes. The word was winking. The tavern owner there was, as the maester likes to say, careless. They often are. He pointed me in the direction of a room with a rather curious tenant. He never left his quarters, but of guests he had 5 in as many nights. He could not risk entering the room. A cloaking spell is but a justice trick to mages who can detect the essence of life. It is by the luck of the twin moons that I found a friend in an Argonian named Gulam A, whose sweet hands found the pockets of his visitors. No, I am afraid this cat has exhausted all of its lives. However, if you would be so kind, perhaps you would be willing to listen to a dying Khajiit's final request.
Конечно.
When I was but a beggar, there was a Khajiit female who provided me with alms. She was a poor farmer, but wealthy with kindness. Such was her kindness that she considered my bread. While others tossed their septums with disdain, she traded their alms for petty magic tricks. I still remember how her ears perked up ever so softly whenever I would conjure an orb of light in my palm. It was during one of these tricks that Master Meronin recognized my talents. Finally, I thought, this Khajiit will earn some real respect. No one was more proud of me than the farmer. Yet in the months that followed, I changed. Suddenly it was I who could not associate with her. You would not be so kind if I were not dying, I presume. She was much the same. She could have been angry with me, but instead she granted my wish. Many times I would pass her on the street and say nothing. My eyes told her all she needed to know, and nothing she wanted to hear. No, that is not necessary. You see, on some nights you could stare at the twin moons sitting in the heavens like a pair of mismatched eyes. She told this foolish beggar that if one Khajiit prayed to Mesa and another prayed to Secunda, they could communicate through the stars. Her moon was Secunda and mine Mesa, so my final request is this. The next time you look at the night sky and see the moons in flight, tell her I'm sorry, and I never had a better friend or a kinder one.
Для меня честь.
Your words warm my heart. This Khajiit thanks you dearly, but we are not done yet. There is still the business of the nodes, yes? Thank you, friend. With that, this cat can rest easy. Tell Olivia not to blame herself. Her teachings did not fail me. They are what gave this poor beggar a reason to live, and honor in death.
I'm okay with the dark, but I've spent more than my share of time in caves already.
Well done. What have you learned? That is unfortunate. He was a good mage. Were you able to procure any information at all? Quite the contrary. When I say he was a good mage, it is perhaps the highest compliment I could ever pay him. I knew the Khajiit for 10 years. Do not pretend to understand our relationship, and do not presume you can better eulogize those you barely know. It is more insulting to his memory that we diverge toward a meaningless argument, when the pages are still in the hands of rogue mages. Now, do you have any information for me or not? Let me see those. This is precisely what we needed. You have done admirably, as did my assistant in delivering these to you. Now that you are entrenched in this matter, I have no doubt that you are the only one capable of pursuing it to the end. This is far more perilous than the previous job, but I believe you will reward my confidence in you. As you may have guessed, the 5 locations listed are likely secluded areas where the mages can conduct their individual research. 1 mage for each school of magic. To defeat them will require skill in cunning, and an understanding of the strengths and weaknesses of each art. The notes will provide their locations, and you can consult me for any advice regarding their procurement. Do you have any questions before you go? Very well. Return to me if you seek my counsel.
Weapons up. I sense something. You did pretty good out there. Nice work.
Какой сюрприз. Надо же.
Who dares disturb rest?
Пусть? Проклятье! Жалкая блоха!
You're a fool to test me. Last
This won't
mistake.
end well for you.
Eternal slumber awaits.
Killing you will make that illusion мне гораздо легче играть.
Просто царапина.
Я тебя с таким удовольствием убью!
Я тебя
What do you want?
уничтожу. Я выставлю твою голову на стену.
Give him hell. At least make it interesting. I'm calling. This one's in the bag.
Какой сюрприз! Надо же!
Я тебя сделаю. Помогите! Прошел слух, что коллегия магов снова в порядке. Если они вообще понимают, что такое порядок. Конечно.
У меня к тебе есть дело.
Вот спасибо. Мне это очень пригодится.
Oh, I'm still sore where I took that arrow. That'll teach you.
Ни шагу больше.
Who's there? Enough nothing about it. Let's do this. That's how I never pull my punches.
Я тебя предупреждаю. Уходи.
Я тебя стаки...
Excellent. To defeat a conjurer is to defeat the armies of oblivion and death. No small feat. That is tremendous news. If you're running low on potions, be sure to stock up at Birna's. Fantastic. Although I will have to verify if the text is real. One can never be too careful with an illusionist. Wonderful. Be sure to check with Colette if you have any injuries. Stupendous. I hope you did not cause too much collateral damage in procuring these. That you have. I will have Urog get on rebinding the books immediately. In the meantime, I offer you this staff as a reward for your service. It has no celebrated history. However, not all things powerful require such affectations, nor do they deprive you of the experience you have earned. Through these trials, you have proven your ability as a mage is without peer, and for that reason your mission is not yet complete. For the knowledge and experience you have gained through this quest must be shared with your colleagues here at the college, so that all may benefit. Our business, however, is suspended for now. Although I may need your assistance once more in the future, let me again offer my sincerest thanks, on behalf of all mages, not just myself and Jad Raah. The knowledge extracted from these texts may lead to great discoveries and new frontiers.